Hi, I would like to share with you the scripture is from Book of Judges, chapter 15, starting with verse 1. But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid. And he said, I will go in to my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in. And her father said, I verily thought that you had utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to your companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray you, instead of her. And Samson said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand between the two tails. Um, and when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing corn of the Philistines, and burn up both the shocks and also the standing corn into the vineyards and olives. Then the Philistines said, Who has done this? And he answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, Though you have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter, and he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah, and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, Why are you come up against us? And he answered, To bind Samson are we come up to do to him as he has done to us. And 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock Etam, and said to Samson, Know you not that the Philistines are rulers over us? What is this that you have done unto us? And he said unto them, As he did unto me, so have I done unto them. And they said unto him, We are come down to bind you, that we may deliver you into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, Swear unto me that you will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spoke unto him, saying, No, but we will bind you fast, and deliver you into their hand, but surely we will not kill you. And they bound him with 2 new cords, and brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, With a jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with a jaw of an ass, have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramath Lehi. And he was sore athirst, and he called on the Lord, and he said, You have given this great deliverance into the hand of your servant. And now shall I die for thirst, and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised. But God clave a hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout. And when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Wherefore he called the name thereof En-hakkore, which is in Lehi unto this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Philistines 20 years. Now, those scriptures right there are talking about, they're continuing the story of Samson after after his attempted marriage with one Philistine woman, and she and he made a bet with the Philistines that that were in Timnath, and at this feast. And he put forth a riddle if they could solve it within 7 days. He would give them 30 linen sheets, and 30 changes of garments. But if they could not, then they were to give him 30 linen sheets and 30 changes of garments. And they accepted the challenge, and he presented a riddle, and they could not for several days find out the riddle, until they forced Samson's bride to entice him to put forth the answer to the riddle, or else her and her family's house would be burned. And so she basically enticed him to put forth the answer to the riddle, and she told it to people, and they answered, and Samson got angry that and accused him of cheating, and he ended up fulfilling their fulfilling, paying off his gambling debt, and he slew a bunch of men in Ashkelon, and got 30 linen sheets and 30 changes of garments, and gave them to the men at Tineth, and he ended up leaving his wife, and just so the father-in-law gave her to somebody else. However, Samson still considered himself married to the woman, so he came by his father-in-law's house and presented was going to present her with a young goat, and he said to the father-in-law, "I want to go into my wife's chamber to sleep with her." And he said, "I thought you utterly hid her, so I gave her to your companion. But you could have her sister, who is much prettier than her." And Samson decided that he was going to do the Philistines this pleasure because they did this to him, that the father-in-law ended up giving his wife over to somebody else, and so he caught 300 of foxes, put firebrands between her tails, tying them up in pairs, and let them loose in the Philistines' fields to burn up the shocks and the standing corn, and he committed a bit of vandalism, and people were asking who had done this, and revealed it was Samson, because his father-in-law gave his daughter, gave Samson's wife over to someone else, and they ended up killing the wife and the father-in-law, and Samson decided that he was going to avenge himself, and he basically killed a bunch of men, and then he hid himself in the rock Etam. So Philistines went to Judah. They told men in Judah why they're there. I mean, they wanted to capture Samson for what he has done to them. So men of Judah went to rock Etam, and they asked Samson why why the Philistines are after him, and he basically answered, "So as he did unto me, so I did unto them." So he said, "We're come to capture you and bring you to the Philistines." And he basically asked him, "Please make sure you don't do anything to me yourselves." And he said, "Sure. We will only bind you up and bring you to the Philistines. We won't kill you." So brought him to. So they brought him to the Philistines, and the Philistines were basically glad that they finally got him, and then he's all bound up, and suddenly the Spirit of the Lord comes upon Samson, and he basically just like hulks out and just rips the binds that he over his wrist, and then he takes the fresh jawbone of a donkey. This is the second time that he violates the Nazarite vow, not to go near a dead person or a carcass of thing, and he ends up beating Philistines to death, about 1,000 of them with a single jawbone, and he ends up saying, "With the jawbone of a donkey, I made him look like donkeys. With the jawbone of a donkey, I've slain 1,000 men." And then he threw the jawbone away, and he called the place Ramath Lehi, which means Jawbone Hill. And all that fighting basically made him like very exhausted and very thirsty, and he calls out to God, I mean, for salvation, and God clave a hollow in the rock, and caused a spring to bubble up, and Samson drank from the spring, and his spirit was refreshed, and he was revived, and he called the name of that place En-Hakkore, which means Caller's Spring. I mean, this is in continuation of what of Samson's life, and this will continue until Samson has this affair with Delilah, and she ends up under orders of the Philistines to reveal the secret of his great strength, and he basically fools her of a few times, and just and she finally nags him to death, and he reveals that his great strength lies in the fact that he's a Nazarite, and his head were shaven, then he would be weak and be like another man, and she ended up lulling to sleep, and then she got a barber, and he shaved off the 7 locks in his head, and his strength began to leave him, and then the Philistines came, and Samson thought he was going to break free, and he didn't know that the Lord had left him, and he was captured. He was blinded. He was put to mill, and grinding meal, and over time his hair grew back, and the Philistines just brought into the brought into a chamber, this house, this temple, and he made sport for them, and then he puts his hand on the 2 pillars that were holding up the house, and he basically pray for God to give him strength to avenge himself for his 2 eyes that were cut out, and he pushes the 2 pillars of all his might, and he says, "Let me die with the Philistines," and he pushed them out, and the whole house fell, and the Philistines died, and so he died with them. Anyway, that's pretty much all I'm going to share with you in this video. So, have a good day, and may God bless you.